As far as known, Earth is the only planet of the universe which carries life. The existence of life is dependent on the availability of factors like air, water, and food. These factors are important components of the environment. If we will see environment from a closer distance, we will find that there is an interaction between abiotic and biotic component. This interaction is responsible for the existence of an ecosystem. And in an ecosystem, there is always a flow of material and energy.
Plants, animals, and microorganisms together make a biotic community. Biotic communities always coexist with abiotic factors. Matter and energy are the two main components of the abiotic factor. Water, salt, minerals, gases are the matter, whereas light, temperature, and energy-bound chemicals serve as different forms of energy. The biotic community is divided into two main components as per their nutritional relationship. 1. The autotropic, and 2. The heterotropic. The organisms of the autotropic components are known as producers and are capable of producing their own food with the help of some microbes and chlorophyll. Green plants contain certain chemosynthetic microbes which are included in these groups. The organisms of the heterotropic components have two groups. 1. The consumers, and 2. The decomposers. Consumers, animals and parasitic plants. Decomposers, major groups of fungi and bacteria. Consumers consume the matter built up by the producers. These consumers are herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores like rabbit, deer, mouse are known as primary consumers since they feed on plants. These herbivores are eaten by flesh-eating carnivorous animals or the secondary consumers such as birds, snakes, lizards, etc. Further, the top carnivorous animals feed on small and weak carnivores. These are the tertiary consumers like tiger, lion, hawk, etc. Man eats flesh and plants both and is known as an omnivore. Finally, after the death of these organisms, saprophytes and other decomposers feed on them by decomposing the complex substances of the body into simpler forms, and then energy is released along with minerals and gases. The food which man or any other animal obtains from plant is a converted form of sun's energy. Now the question is, how is this solar energy trapped by plant and further used by animals? Sun is the only source of energy in the universe. Enormous energy is released at every moment from the sun, and it spreads throughout the space. Just 1%, that is about 3,000 kilocalories of the total energy reaches the earth, and the remaining energy does not, because of the components of atmosphere like clouds, smoke, and dust particles which change the nature of the solar radiation. Some of the energy which reaches the earth goes back to nature. Just a small quantity falls on the plant. Green plants have chlorophyll that traps the sun's energy. Only chlorophyll has the property to convert solar energy into chemical energy. During this conversion, rearrangement of molecules of water and carbon dioxide takes place to produce oxygen and sugar. This is known as photosynthesis. It is estimated that during photosynthesis, plants use only 1/10th part of 1% energy. This potential energy, which is present in the form of food, passes through the sequence from producers to consumers. These sequential events in our ecosystem of eating and of being eaten with the transfer of energy is known as the food chain. Every organism may be a member of more than one food chain, and in this way, that organism can serve as a link between various food chains. All these overlapping and shortcuts in a biotic community make a food web.
The food chain and the food web maintain a delicate equilibrium in the nature. Any disturbance in a food chain or the organisms of a food chain may disturb the whole ecosystem. Here we can see the example of export of frogs from Calcutta, which led the spread of malaria because frogs eat mosquitoes.
Each energy level or the link of food chain is called a tropic level. Energy flow is greatly reduced at each successive tropic level from producer to consumer. Now let us consider the tropic level and total energy flow through these boxes. These boxes represent the tropic levels, and the pipes show the energy flow in and out at each level. Plants are the first tropic level. Thus, from the 3000 kilocalories of total light, about 50% or 1500 kilocalories energy is absorbed by the plant, and only 1% of the 15 kilocalories is converted at the first tropic level. Productivity of the second and the third level is only 10%, or 1.5 and 0.3 kilocalories respectively. Sometime it may be higher, up to 20% in top carnivores. If we calculate this energy and plot it in the shape of a pyramid, then the figure will be like this. In this pyramid, the first tropic level of biotic community serves as the base. Then an upright pyramid will be obtained at each tropic level. Therefore, less energy is available to the topmost consumer. So, that is why lions and tigers are less in number. This means energy at producer level will always be more than energy at the consumer level. The energy flow in the universe is the cause for all creation and the cycle of small and big materials on our planet. At every level, organisms make use of energy due to which life activity occurs. Whenever an organism does any work, then potential energy is transformed to chemical energy or ATP. Actually, energy remains enclosed in high energy bonds of ATP. ATP is produced energy during oxidation of food in respiration and is utilized for the synthesis of various molecules necessary for growth and development.
Even the movement of molecules across the cell membrane is also governed by energy. The cellular energy in the form of ATP is changed into heat energy to maintain the temperature of the body of living organisms.
ATP is used for muscular contraction, movement of cilia or flagella, etc. Electrical energy is generated to imitate and conduct the nerve impulses. Light energy is used in some insects and other animals for bioluminescence. In this way, transformation and flow of energy provides dynamism to an organism.
It is true that all the living organisms require energy for their survival. But it is also true that energy flow in the environment is a must to meet the energy requirements of the whole biotic community. Any change in the environment which alters or influences the normal energy flow may disturb life. Therefore, being the most developed creature of this planet, it is our moral responsibility to maintain the normal energy flow of the environment. We can do this by conserving and protecting the components of the environment, whether they are living or non-living.